Hello guys and welcome back. Welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and in today's video, we are going to be reviewing not one, but two. We are going to be reviewing the first two episodes of Loki. What can I say about Loki other than it's everything I wanted? I really like the way they've done the show. I really like the direction that the show seems to be going in, and it's been a lot of fun. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this, shall we? So, now we do know that this is unfortunately not our Loki, the Loki that we grew up with the movies. That Loki died at the beginning of Infinity War, unfortunately. This is another universe Loki, and I can understand from some people's point of views. It's like, this isn't our Loki. Why should I care for this other Loki? We already killed the other Loki, and yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's kind of a waste. Like I feel like Loki was kind of wasted in Endgame, Infinity War. Um, Honestly, that's probably one of the only things I don't like about Infinity War is the fact that Loki died, even though I like the way he died. Uh, and by that I mean fighting Thanos, fighting as a son of Asgard. It really comes back to his entire arc, and it's Loki. I love the fact that the only reason why Thanos was there was because Loki, he just couldn't. He just absolutely could not resist leaving that thing there, and that truly shows that Loki still has many flaws. The fact that he could not leave the Tesseract there. Honestly, if the Tesseract was left there on, um, yeah, God, if the Tesseract was left there in Thor Ragnarok, guys, in game Infinity War, it would never have happened, because I'm not saying that. Well, I don't know. Do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you think uh, Thor Ragnarok, the event of Thor Ragnarok, would be strong enough to destroy the stone? Let me know. I honestly, I don't know. I think it would. I think what would happen is it would probably get stuck on Asgard, on a piece of Asgard, and fly somewhere throughout the galaxy, who knows where, to somewhere where no one would ever know where it was again, nor would Thanos know wherever it was again. But I honestly don't know if when Asgard was destroyed, if that event would be powerful enough to destroy uh, the Tesseract. I mean, the Tesseract, sure, but I'm obviously more interested in the stone within the Tesseract. Um, yeah, I don't know. I honestly do not know. But in any case, yeah, it shows Loki has many flaws at the fact that he couldn't just leave that thing on Asgard. If he just left that thing, it would never have happened. Thanos would have never have come to Asgard, would have never have gotten them, and he really did get his comeuppance at the end when Thanos kills him for it, basically. Of course, this is not our beloved Loki. This is Loki from the first Avengers movie. This is another universe Loki, and honestly, yes, it's fantastic that we've had this Loki, that we've seen Loki's full adventure, and I really do like that it was his own stupidity, really, Even though he did sacrifice himself and try to defeat Thanos as a son of Asgard, I do like it. I feel like it was kind of a waste to kill him off like that. I do really like the fact that he did die, though. I do really like the fact that we got this Loki from Avengers Infinity War, because truth be told, I think the best Loki we've ever had, besides Ragnarok, to be honest with you, I really love Loki and Ragnarok. I think the best Loki we've actually had, though, was the first Avengers movie. I really like the fact that we have Loki from the first Avengers movie. And yeah, so after he activates the Tesseract and gets shot to who knows where, people from the TVA, or Time Travel Agency, I don't know what was TVA, Time Universe Agent? I don't know what it was. But they come out and they get Loki because he's out of time. Whenever something apparently happens to the main mother timeline, it splits off into a new timeline. And a long time ago, and I like the way they actually did this. So when Loki went through the little adventure and finally got his explanation from a kind of interesting little computer design, it turns out that there were a million different timelines causing a massive time war with each other. And the TVA sparked up in order to defeat all of the other timelines and create one cohesive mother timeline. And this Loki was not supposed to venture off the original timeline. And whenever something does happen where you venture off the original timeline, these guys come in, pick you up, and deal with you. And that's what happens to our Loki, is they come and pick him up and deal with him. And let me just say this. The humor in this show, perfect. Spot on Marvel humor. I love it. I love it when Loki was supposed to sign for every single word he said, and every time he spoke or said a word, another word would come out of the printer. That's funny to me. That's funny to me. And I mean, Loki trying to deal with everything going left and right. This was just great humor. It was great. And yeah, Loki trying to escape the TVA. Great. When that one guy gets destroyed, he's like, oh my god, where's my ticket? I like humor like that. It was perfect. It was great Marvel humor. I don't think any of that humor took away from the scene either. I thought just seeing this Loki that we know from Avengers, seeing this Loki deal with something that he's never had to deal with before, I find it funny, amusing, and entertaining. I really, really do. I really enjoy what we have for our character Loki in this movie. Now, moving on, of course, the biggest thing we have to talk about when it comes to the first episode for me is that Loki eventually, you see, there is this one room where Loki gets to see his own past, right? And then he kind of tricks him into escaping, but he's not trying to escape. He goes back to the room to figure out what is his future. And I love how he sees his future. He kind of cries. He sees himself, his own story play out, and understands that everything he wants. Remember, this is Avengers. The first Avengers movie, Loki, and his arc from the first Avengers Loki really is to deal with Thor. So to know that he's seen this, knows that he's seen his life play out and what it's supposed to end like, for him to, one, kind of tear up at the knowledge that he gets what he wants at the end, that he's redeemed himself through his brother's eyes, And when he does, the very second he does, he gets killed because of his own stupidity. I think that is fantastic, and he kind of goes a little crazy after that, right? But then the TVA comes in and they say, all right, Loki, the one guy, I can't remember his name, forgive me, but the one guy who was interviewing him goes, okay, Loki, look, we'll give you a chance. We actually need your help to defeat another variant. And Loki, realizing that he really doesn't have any other thing to do, is kind of like, okay, but Loki kind of, Loki, he wants to play a long game. He's always played the long game. What does he want to do, really? We don't know yet, but if you ask me, I say this Loki is without a doubt going to want to take over the TVA. I think that's without a doubt. And make his own decisions, because that's what Loki has always been about. So, the thing is, they give him a job to find a variant. Who are the variant they're trying to find? Himself. Another timeline himself. And that's where we get into episode 2. Episode 2 was another fantastic episode where we got him and the other guy working together. They give him a jacket. He looks super cool. Except on the back of it, it's very obvious it's his variant. Like in big, bold letters. So no one mistakes this Loki for the bad Loki, obviously. But it's also like no one will mistake this Loki for someone you could trust. Because no one trusts Loki. And I really like how in this episode, he's trying to build trust. He's trying to, and the humor with them is just, it's just perfect. It's just, I loved this episode so much. It's perfect. And by the end of the episode, he actually does meet the other variant Loki. Yes, it's female Loki. So what? I don't care that it's female Loki. I thought it was brilliant how Loki figured out where this other Loki was hiding. And it's because what ends up happening is Loki realizes that if something happens where no matter what, if an apocalypse is supposed to kill everything off, right? Then why not go to that apocalypse and just, you could do whatever you want. It doesn't matter what you do to the timeline because the apocalypse is gonna happen anyway. So what does Loki do? Loki goes to Pompeii. The volcano is about to destroy everything. So what does he do? He kind of messes up the timeline. Says, "Hey, I'm Loki. You are all about to die, and guess what? I don't care. Let the goats out." It's so funny. And then Pompeii happens. And nothing happens to the timeline at all. Like, they weren't even there because Pompeii was going to destroy anything anyway. The apocalypse was going to destroy anything anyway. So he realizes that he has to find the right apocalypse where this other Loki could be hiding. And there's apparently going to be another apocalypse in the year 2050. And that's the one that he goes to. And I love their little competition of trying to go through the files and figure out where the other Loki could be hiding. I thought it was great, and it's such a great episode. Such a great episode. Now, the only thing that I didn't like about the first episode was there was a joke about the stones. Like, to me, like, there should only be one pair of Infinity Stones, but the guy has like 1,000,000 stones in his desk. They all use them as paperweights. They're not powerful because obviously if they're outside of their own universe, they don't have any power. I kind of don't like that. I kind of don't like that. That was the only thing out of the 2 episodes that I didn't like. The second episode I thought was brilliant. So the first one I give like a 8. This one, I'm gonna give a 9. I want to give it a 10. The reason why I'm not gonna give it a perfect 10 is just because I don't know where the story's gonna go now. Because at the end, uh, at the end, the other Loki activates the apocalypse basically, and then runs away. And Loki has a chance. He has the opportunity to look back and help his friends, but he doesn't. He goes after him. So I don't know if he's going to join forces with the other Loki or not. Something else that I think might happen though is I think the ones that are going to be in charge of everything, the TVA, because the TVA has these three like really important masters of everything. I think the three TVA's masters are gonna be all Lokis. It turns out that Loki is in charge of everything. I know it sounds stupid. That's where my theory goes. I'm probably wrong, but I can't wait to find out what happens in the future. Let me know down in the comments below, what are your thoughts about the first 2 episodes of Loki? I cannot wait to see episode 3. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Bye.